Hey friends, how's it going today? I hope you guys are doing well. It is Julie Hamilton with Life Builders, bringing you simple tips to build a strong and healthy life on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8:30 usually. But I missed yesterday. We were out of town a little bit and enjoying a nice Valentine's Day evening and morning, overnight. And so I thought, you know what, I'm gonna do it today instead because I miss you guys. So anyway, hey Sarah, how are you this morning? I hope you're doing great. She's probably busy, you guys. She is one busy mama. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I got it cut. And now it's all one color instead of my gray wings that I had before. Damien calls them my wings. So anyway, thank you very much. So have you ever been in that place between your beginning and your breakthrough? Between your diagnosis and your delivery, between the pit and the palace? You guys, I call that the question mark. So the question mark is that place where you are, where you have something in your sights that is going to turn out fine, but in the middle you're walking through the muck of the middle of that and not understanding it, wondering like, how am I supposed to walk through this? What am I supposed to do? Maybe it's for a diagnosis that you got that's scary. Maybe it's you're going through financial trouble, maybe a relationship trouble, maybe something that you have in your heart that you know is going to happen, but you're not there yet. So I wanted to talk today to you about what to do when you're in that question mark space. And the first thing that you want to do is just breathe, you guys. Don't forget to breathe. So when you're feeling that tension come on you, that worry, and you're getting worked up, just stop and take a deep breath. Just stop and breathe. The next thing that you want to do is you want to take control of your thoughts. Your thoughts are going to come at you with all kinds of lies, all kinds of things that are going to make you worry, all kinds of imaginations. And, you know, I walked through that one time, a long time ago. We went to the doctor and they said, you have a mass. And so I went with him to the ultrasound just for moral support, and, you know, I saw it there on the screen, the big black mass. And, you know, there was a time between the time that you go to the ultrasound and the time that you go to a doctor. To me, that's the question mark. Because I'll tell you what, my imagination ran away with me during that time. I thought of every possible scenario, and I did the worst mother of all things that you should not do when you're dealing with something medical. I went and I Googled it. Don't do it, you guys. Don't Google it. Don't Google something medical. Don't self-diagnose because it's bad on the internet. So anyway, by the time we got to go to the doctor's appointment, I mean, I was literally convinced he was dying. Hey Kyle, how are you, buddy? I was literally convinced that he was dying. I had seen it on the screen, and then I Googled it and it told me what it was. And then, you know, it's been like 4 days, and my imagination has come up with all these scenarios and all these things, and I let my imagination run away with me. And I went there, good morning, and I went to the doctor's office with him, and it didn't turn out to be cancerous. It was a benign mass. And so in my head, I wasted all that energy, all that time thinking of everything and thinking he was gonna die and all these kinds of things. Hey, good morning, Beth. And then after all that, it was all a waste of time. So number one is breathe. Number 2 is capture your thoughts. Don't let your imagination run away with you. Every time that fear tries to come to tell you that it's going the wrong way, or you're not going to be provided for, or you're going to be sick, you're going to die, you take that thing and you say no. You capture that, you say, imagination, you are not running away with me this time. And so that is number 2. So number 1 is you just keep breathing. Number 2 is you take those thoughts captive. Number 3 thing to do is you take the next step. Sometimes it can be so overwhelming when we're in a situation like that, we don't know what to do. And it seems like you don't even know where to start. It's like when you go out and your garden's so full of weeds that you can't even start because you don't know where to start. It can be like that. So what do? You just take the next step, the next simple step, whether that's, I need to make this meal to feed my family, or I need to send this email, or I need to go work out, or whatever it is that you need to do next. When you're feeling overwhelmed in a situation like that, you just take the next step. And after you take that step, you take the next step. And that's what you do till you get to the end of that situation. So breathe, capture your thoughts, take the next step. And then my fourth one is for all you faith-based people out there. You know, I was reading this morning about Joseph, and he was in prison, and he had this vision of going to the palace, and he knew it. He had it in his heart. It was a dream that was alive, but on the way there, he got put into the pit, and he got sold as a slave, and then he was in the prison, and he was there for 7 years. 7 years with this dream and this word and this in his heart of being in charge and all of that. But listen to this verse that I read this morning. It's Genesis 39:21. It says, "But the Lord was with Joseph in the prison and showed him his faithful love." Sometimes when you're in that place and you feel like you're in a prison because you're between the pit and the palace, you need to know God's with you. He's with you. Between the pit and the palace, even if you're in the prison, he's with you. And he will show you his love even when you're there. So if you are a faith-based person, you can take that with you. Just grab a hold of that. Just say, I know even if I'm in prison, God is with me, and he's going to show me his faithful kindness. You know, we had a situation recently where we have one job. Hey, good morning, Sarah. We have one job in January that usually it pays for our whole month, and we've been doing it for years and years and years, and so we've kind of come to depend on that. Well, in December, we found out that we didn't get that job this year. Thank you. We found out that we didn't get that job this year. Okay, so now we're in that question mark, like, oh my gosh, we have no income for January. Okay, you guys know what it's like when you're self-employed. Your only payment is your next paycheck. Your next check that you're getting is the next, provision for your family. And so there we were in December, finding out that we're not getting paid at all in January, have no jobs. And it's that place where you're in that prison and you're like, okay, God, I know that you're with me. And so we just had to say, you know what? I know it's going to work out okay. We had to take our imaginations captive. So say, I know that it's going to work out okay. I know I'm going to be provided for. And guess what happened? Even when we didn't understand what was going on, what happened was we landed another client. And not only did that client give us a job in January, and we actually got a lot of smaller jobs that ended up making the same amount as we would have made with this big job, but now we're booking other jobs with this client that we got. If we had kept our client that we had the years before, if we had had them this year, we would not have booked the client that we had in January that is now booking jobs throughout the year. So sometimes it's like we can't see it when we're in the prison. We can't see it when we're in the pit, but the palace is coming. And we just have to trust that thing. So breathe is the number one when you're in the space, in the question mark, breathe. Number 2 is capture your thoughts. Don't let your imaginations run away with you. Don't let fear run away. Number 3 is just take the next step. And number 4 is to remember that God is with you. So I hope you guys have a very blessed day. Thank you, Sarah. And don't forget, it's Propel tonight. I don't know if you guys are coming. If you're a guy, don't come. But if you're a girl, come to Propel. It's going to be super awesome. And also, we're reading Uninvited. We're in chapters 9 through 13 this week. So don't forget to read that. I hope you guys have an awesome day. Good morning, Sarah. How are you? I got my Sarahs on. Yay. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you. Thanks for inspiring us all the time, too. Yeah, Kyle's always pushing and inspiring us all to do better, and I really love that about him. So have a great day, you guys. Thank you, Beth. May your minds be fierce, and your hearts be strong, and your spirit be kind today. Have a wonderful day, you guys. Love you all. Bye. See you soon. Maybe.